Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today, more law. Uh, these are pretty much just 3 games from the session I was playing against the 3 games with Sakazuki, but I kind of broke them up because if not the video would have been very long, so yeah, here are the other games I was playing with Law the other day, and it's the game 1 is actually against Crocodile, which I haven't seen in a minute, and I don't know exactly what they got new. I think it's like 5 drop X Drake and like 10 drop Kaido. So this might be a bit interesting, you know. I know Blue has not been really even on the radar this format. It's mainly, you know, I guess if you count Sakazuki as Blue, yeah, he has Blue has been, but just like Mono Blue is not very popular. But this has always been a matchup I'm very comfortable in. So yeah, I'm not stressing. I'm still pretty sure Law does completely fine into this deck. And yeah, we have a decent start. 2 Dodons, can't complain. I just play down 2 Doggers because we're playing against just Mono Blue. They don't really, unless he's like playing Hound Blaze, which this doesn't sound that good in Mono Blue without the cost reduction, so I doubt he is, but yeah, there's no real answer to like my 2 and 1 drops outside of maybe like ulti, but I would have obviously seen the ulti by now if that was happening. But yep, he swings for 5. I take, he plays down the X Drake, so just a big Doflamingo blocker, basically. Next turn, we'll probably want a Bonnie, even though, you know, we have the Doggers on board. We'll lose a little bit of value on that, but we definitely want to try to find a Zoro. If we find a Nami, that'd probably be, like, the best, because we'll just Dogger cheat out the Nami, and that'll be great, but we'll see. We'll probably end up taking some attacks with 1 or 2 of our little guys. Probably just 1, because we'll be at 6. I guess, you know, if we wanted to, we could just Dogra play out like the Otama or something, and then just go 5-5 with the Dawn and then leader effect. But I think taking, you know, the chance of finding a Zoro is better, and we do find the Zoro, so I mean, seems good. Just gonna swing 5. He does have a 6k blocker, obviously, but you know, I'm gonna have 3 or 2 more 5ks after this one, so if he wants to free block this, that's fine. You know, we'll at least force him to counter a little bit. And honestly, if he like doesn't take it early, that kind of just means, or if he does take it early, that means we can just leave our wait, what am I saying? If he like counters like out of this one and then counters out of the Dawn, that just means we get to leave our Zoro standing, which is kind of good because we know we won't have to defend it. But he takes it on the first attack, and so we'll just go 5 with the Dawn, and then, you know, leader effect, go into Law Zoro and go 5 again, and he's countering out of a lot of these hits, so I'm assuming it's got to be just because of like 10 drop Kaido. He's probably just trying to play for that card, which, I mean, makes some sense. But I mean, dwindling your hand when you're still 2 turns away from the 10 drop is like kind of not great, because you might be forced to take more 5ks or 6ks if I'm swinging equal with the X Drake. So yeah, maybe taking like 1 more of those would have been okay, going down to 3. But you know, I guess if he's playing for late game, he really wants to 10 Kaido, so fair enough. I guess if he's counting out of all the 5ks. He goes 7 at my Zoro. I'm just going to block in 2k. If he wants to commit a bunch of Dawn on the X Drake to try to out my blocker Law, I think that's fine. It just means he's not developing anything this turn. I also get to fight a bit for the board, and him not having a ton of cards in hand, especially if he plays 1 card this turn. So yeah, it sounds good to me. I'll be able to pretty effectively go wide. I have the Otama if he goes like a big number into my Zoro or something. But goes 8 at the Law. I'm not going to let that go, just because I have a lot in hand. I still have the Bonnie, so I know I won't really run out of resources. And then he'll play Dofi. He's played the same card 3 times, but one of them has a different art. Really makes you think. But next turn he will be on 247. No, he went first. Yeah, he went first, so it's going to be a minute till he can play his 10 Kaido. So that's definitely not the best for him. I don't remember who chose to go first or second. It might have been me, because I usually choose to go second in every matchup with Law. Except, I don't even know if there's a matchup that I wouldn't want to go second in. But, yeah. I mean, we're looking fine. We are on 2 life, so I guess a little bit scary, but we're going to develop a lot of our board. He's still pretty low in hand size. We top deck a blocker Law, which is great. So yeah, we're just going to swing a whole bunch of 6s at this X Drake, and he'll probably be forced to let it go, or if not, use a blocker or 2. And a bunch of cards in hand, so seems like a pretty good exchange for me. I did really want to get this Otama down, but I'm like, I just hate sacking off characters playing Law, especially when it's not just for like a little blocker to save my life. So I mean, yeah, this feels a bit suboptimal, but I didn't really want to sack off a character for fun. I'm like jittering my mouse around. That's funny. But yeah, counters out of 2 of the 6s. We'll go with third 6. Maybe he'll block this time. I don't know. Nope, counters again. So he is going very low in hand size. We'll go 6 with the Dawn, and then we'll leader effect and go 6 with the Zoro one more time. And that effectively just made him use almost all of his cards. I don't know if that was worth it. But I mean, I guess the X-Drake will stick around if he blocks again. Yeah. And we'll pass. Yeah, I don't think that was the best of ideas. Maybe just swinging with like the Dofi blocker instead of swinging with the X-Drake last turn would have been better. And just going at the Zoro, because what, he had like 6 Dawn to work with or something like that? No, because he used 2 on leader, so he was on 7, so then he had 5 left. If he wanted to get down another 3 Dofi, he could have went 5 or 6 at Zoro, but I guess that just never outs it, right? I don't know. I think just not the best spot. Hasn't really seen his tempo cards to like bounce my cards or like, 3000 worlds, stuff like that, to just deal with my board. But it goes 9 at Law. Or 8, sorry. And I do counter out. If he goes 7 at Zoro, I'm going to probably just let it go. Because I'm out of 2Ks. So, I mean, yeah, I'll be happy he didn't go 8 at my Law. We'll take that. And he'll play another X-Drake. He's on, like, 1 card now. So, I mean, I know one of them is just gone the next turn. And we can get a couple swings in at life. And we do have a lot of swings this turn, honestly. Because if we want, we could just play Luffy and then just bounce into Restand Law. So yeah, he'll let it go with the first 6. Probably just going to swing 6 again with one of my blockers. I'm not really in danger of dying. Blue doesn't really have rush outside of the 4-drop Usopp, but I'm not really going to worry about that. It's 4 Dawn, 5k. I'll have enough counter, hopefully. If I was trying to get, like, cheesed out by that. I wouldn't even say cheesed out. It's just funny if I lost to a rush Usopp. But yeah, we'll go 6. He'll take. Maybe we just go 7. Yeah, we'll just go 7. Could block 2k, but then I think I just out this X-Drake as well. We'll play Luffy, go 6 with the X-Drake. Let it go. We'll leader effect, bounce into Restand Law, restand our blocker, and go 7 again, because, again, he's 1 attack next turn. And we do end up sacking off the Dogra, just to make sure, for the Chopper, just to make sure he can't go just a bunch of Dawn on leader and swing into, like, my blocker Law or my rush Luffy. So, that feels pretty good. Sacking off a character in that spot feels pretty good. I'll say that. He's on 10 Dawn now, so if he wants to play 10 Kaido, he can, but this is one of those spots where I don't think it is that safe. Sure, you're drawing 4, but you have 2 life, and I have effectively 4 attackers on the board, plus my leader, plus I still have my leader effect next turn if I want to do that. I definitely could have just blocked that with Chopper, because I knew the 10 Kaido was coming, and then I had room to like play the Bonnie next turn. Oh, never mind, this works out. He'll bounce one of my cards with his leader effect. So never mind, not bad. Bounces a Luffy, which I mean, yeah, to be fair, all of my cards are just going to get value in my hand anyway. And I guess bouncing into a red is less common than bouncing into a green. We're just going to probably just swing a bunch of 7s. We have to be, I guess, a little bit careful, because we could die to, just Kaido and leader attacking. So we'll try to be a little bit careful. But he'll counter out of the first 7. Only 4 cards left in hand now. We're just going to keep chipping him down with 7s. Could even play the Makino and swing with Chopper, which is kind of funny. But we'll probably just play down the Bonnie to bounce into Luffy. Well, actually, yeah, we'll just find a Bonnie off the Bonnie. Whatever. That's fine. So we kind of just have like 3 7s left. But we might want to keep one of our blockers active if we think we're not going to be able to get it, which is very possible. We'll go 7 again. I'm pretty sure he'll take this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he took that. My leader effect, bounce into Luffy. Go 7 with Luffy. And, yeah, we're going to pass there because we know his leader effect could bounce one of our blockers. And then that also puts him on out, both of them basically. And that means he'd have to spend on, and that means I should be able to counter out of his leader swing and not die. So that was the mentality there. I guess if I swung with my blocker, he could have like bounced chopper, went 12 and then 9, and I do get out of the 9, so I guess I could have swung with it and just see what happened, but don't end up doing that. We played a bit safe. He plays, what's her name? Kaya, and then just scoops it up. Fair enough. And next up, we're up against Red Purple Luffy. Honestly, this deck is a little bit scary to play against, just because if they see a bunch of New-Gates, the game gets pretty hard, because they play New-Gate, like turn 4 after ramping, right? Because they ramp once, then they're on 6, it goes like 3, usually to 4. Yeah, it's their turn 4, so it is pretty early. And swinging at 8Ks for a large majority of the game is pretty bad. We don't open any searchers this game, which is, it's definitely not the best, but honestly, Red Purple Luffy doesn't really run a ton of removal, so going down a bit in cards isn't the worst. We at least have some blocker laws, so we got that all good. Sadly, really no great play this turn. We could just play the Bonnie. Probably don't want to use her effect. I don't know what is the play this turn. Honestly. We're going to use Dagra? Oh, can we leader effect this turn? Oh, we can. That's funny. That is funny. That's why we play him. So yeah, we get down a blocker law very early, but, kind of just the blocker law. To be fair, I mean, I'm playing blocker law on 4 Dawn. That's pretty strong, right? But it does stop us from taking a swing with leader, which I don't love, but, I think if we had a Zoro that turn, this play would have been crazy. So, I mean, yeah. It's still honestly pretty good. Playing a 5-drop turn 2. We take that. That's why we play the dog. No, but genuinely, Dagra is pretty solid. After testing him for a while, pretty much I've been playing him since, like, I think the one video that I was talking about it. And, yeah, when you see the card with searchers, and you can kind of just, like, know that by, like, turn 3, you'll be able to build up your board and, like, maybe still have a spare Dawn or 2 is, like, really, really good. Obviously, you have to see him, but still, card is solid. Opens up, like, new routes. Gotta love to see it. But he goes 6 with Zoro, 6 with leader. I just end up taking both, which, yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm dumb, but I like to get a little bit risky. Nah, I don't even know. That probably wasn't the best idea, but I felt like I kind of had to. I wanted more cards in hand. As long as I defend this last life and I don't get, like, annihilated by Jambe, I guess I'll be fine. Right? That's the mentality. I'll have a bunch of blockers. Yeah, I still have the Veggie, have another Veggie in hand, have another blocker law in hand. So I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. We're just gonna leave the Dogger there because he's kind of like a pseudo blocker if he wants to answer him. We'll go 8 at life. He'll take. Maybe gets a trigger. Nope, no trigger. And we'll pass. And this is his Newgate turn. So I mean, this turn itself, we're not too worried, right? Because he's just gonna play Newgate and then probably swing 8 at like our Law or our Zoro, and we'll just block with Veggie. So that's chill. He'll probably clear the Dogra with the Nami. Wouldn't be bad either. We could just take a free block on that, honestly, but I don't know how much we really care. We might just want to... Well, no, getting another blocker down doesn't matter if he has a Newgate, so maybe we'll just keep the Dogger around for fun. Because it will give me more Dawn next turn to swing with. I think I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, let me just take that free block, and he can go 8 at my life. I'll just take the chump blocker there. And this turn... Or, I mean, we're just going to try to bully down his cards. We'll trade our Dogger with his Nami. He'll let it go. I'm fine with spending the 1 Dawn to play my leader. Or to use my leader, my bad. But we'll go 8 with a blocker law. Probably go 8 again. It's kind of awkward, honestly. swinging 8K is... It's not an easy number. You know, there's a reason ACOS Kid was very strong at its time. It still is pretty strong if it doesn't get removed by, you know, removal effects. But those are very common at this point in the game, so yeah, it's definitely just not as strong as it was. But we end up going 8-8 because we found another blocker law. So we'll probably end up bouncing into that and, like, I don't know. It doesn't super matter if we play the Veggie because it'll just get popped. So we'll probably play the Nami and maybe just try to find a 2K. But we find a Rush Luffy, so we kind of downgraded in counter power. But that's alright. He goes 10 at me, and I immediately think, oh, I'm gonna get just annihilated by 10 drop Luffy. Because I have one 2K. I have one 2K and a whole lot of 1Ks. So, we'll see. If it's another Newgate, I think I'm fine. But then he just swings 6, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's not 10 drop, and it's not 9 drop. So I don't know. Yeah, at that point I was like, oh, I guess I'm fine. Maybe he's just gonna play blockers or something. Yeah, I think if he had 10 drop there, it would have been pretty bad. Even another 9 drop would have been pretty bad. But he plays Law, rips 2, and then swings 8 at me. I have to drop a whole bunch of 1Ks. Almost misclick there and don't drop the Bonnie. That would have been bad. But we pretty much just have to try to go for game now, because he has an unblockable Luffy, and I think it's just best to go wide here and ignore the Luffy. Don't give him another turn, because I could just die to a Jambe and my blockers won't matter. Yeah, ends up taking a 6K, so I'm like, okay, I should have this. We'll start going 8s, probably go 8 and then 10 with the other Law, and then just restand the other Law. But he immediately blocks out of an 8, so I know, yeah, he probably doesn't have anything. And finally, against the Zoro, I swear, I think this was my 3rd match I played, but every time I play Law, usually the first opponent I click on is just a Zoro. I'm like, this was my OG bad matchup, and now, like, playing this matchup, I'm like, it wasn't that bad, at least compared to Sakazuki. It was annoying, sure, you know, it had some bad things about it, like buggy, I can't out it with almost anything, but now we have Robin, which is, it's decent, you know, it's at least, not a slash, and so is Nami, so those are kind of like your 2 outs to it. But he swings me, or plays buggy turn 1, and then swings, 5 and then 6 turn 2. I play at the Dawn, bottom deck 3 blocker Laws, and I whiff. I'm like, okay, this is terrible. What did I do to deserve this? But my turn 1, I just played Nami into Chopper. Nothing crazy. I'm like, yeah, let me take a swing at this buggy. And I swear, these Zoro players, man, just let your buggy go. It's not that serious. Just let him go. You don't need to use a radical beam, man. Just let him go. I should have played, if I had Makino, I probably would have played Makino, boosted Chopper, swung at his buggy. That would have felt good, but I didn't have it. He plays Brook, 2 down on buggy. He has 3 down on leader, something like that. Nope, just 2 down. I counter out of the buggy swing, eat the 7K from leader. And now we kind of just have to stabilize. I want to hope he lets this buggy go. I could have Otamaed it if it got, you know, bad and just swung at it with choppers. That wouldn't have felt great, but... Oh, and I could have Otamaed it, then I guess just leader affected into the Robin. But him letting it go lets me play the Bonnie, and that's nice. But yeah, we'll do normal Law things. We could take this Zoro, but I kind of want counter power, and I don't have another blocker Law for now. So we're just going to pass on that. He'll play a Sanji, Jet Pistol my Law, go 5-6. We'll counter the 5. Probably counter the 6 too. We really don't need the Otama, for utility at least. We top deck a Dogra. We're just going to trade our Dodon into the Brook. He'll let it go. Play Bonnie. Find a restand Law. Not really what I'm looking for, but I mean, whatever, right? We'll go 5 with Nami. We have the 1 extra Dawn in case we do get hit with like a Jet Pistol or a Fire Fist out of life. So that's nice. Swing 5 again with leader. He takes both of them. I'm like, alright, cool. Go into Rush Luffy. Attack for 6. And I'm leaving 1 Dawn up just to bait the Radical Beam. I obviously don't have it, but it's scary, right? I don't know why he, I don't know, I feel like he could have swung with his leader and his Sanji first just to see if I would take one of those and then played the Rush Luffy. Also, he just didn't put 1 Dawn on leader there before swinging with the Luffy. So that was definitely a misplay. Yeah, to be fair, I think I was always living because, you know, even if I countered, 1K, then just a 2K? I don't have a 2K, so maybe I would have taken the 6, but it would have been unblockable 9, and I have enough 1Ks to get out of that, so it wasn't too scary. We're gonna go 7 with Luffy. We're gonna hard play. Restand law, go 7 again. I could have started with 9, but I was a bit worried about triggers. We're gonna bounce into the second restand law, and then just go 9. And we still have a 5k with leader if this doesn't work out. But it did, so we'll take that. To be fair, that was kind of like, I guess, a little bit risky, but it worked out, so I mean, whatever. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I didn't upload the past 2 days. I've just been kind of busy, been with friends. I did go to locals, did pretty good, but it was a pretty small locals. I was playing an L, and yeah, I mean, it went good. An L is good, but yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.